like, comment, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Peace to the gods. Peace.
I ain't even finna hold y'all, but when she started the live off with Peace to the Gods, I was like, wait a minute, what?
Peace to the gods. Peace to the gods.
I ain't even finna hold y'all, but I'm gonna be watching and listening to Tori, aka Mama Joy, this entire live just to see where her head's at, because with her starting off saying peace to the gods, I don't know. I'm side-eyeing her, you know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute, hold on.
To the gods. Peace to the gods and goddesses. Don't capture me like at a rich.
Okay, before we get any further into this video, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys why I'm side-eyeing her based on how she started the live off. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to just go ahead and give y'all this clip right here, and then we'll get back into the current live that she just did on November 9th, 2023.
Peace to the gods. Welcome back. Peace to the gods. Welcome back. Peace to the gods. Welcome back to Chance and.
Now, I went ahead and ran the beginning of this one back a few times. So now, I hope you guys understand why I said I'm side-eyeing Tori, a.k.a. Mama Joy. Now, let's get back to this flashback. Video credit goes to the T. She is a huge part of the reporting of the story of the cult. And I'm sure most of you know of her platform, but I wanted to go ahead and verbally say it, but I also tag it in the video. All right, y'all, let's get back into this flashback.
Peace to the gods. Welcome back to Chance and Opportunity. I would like to apologize once again, this time to myself. I apologize for not giving myself the best environment. I apologize for giving up on myself when emotionally triggered, especially since I've been honored with such an amazing guide, the most honorable prophet, Elihi of the Christ. I understand that
I ain't even finna hold y'all, but I'm looking at her head hanging down as she's talking. It looks like she did not want to do this apology, guys. What do y'all think? I personally think that she only did this apology to either remain in or get back in Elihi Bishop, a.k.a. Nature Boy, a.k.a. Three Gods Good Graces. Because remember, when Tori left, she went on Young Pharaoh and dragged Elihi Bishop, a.k.a. Nature Boy, a.k.a. Three God, for filth with Young Pharaoh.
The most honorable prophet, Elihi of the Christ. I understand that my actions confused and misled a lot of souls, and that's not something I'm proud of. What I represent is much bigger than me, and I choose to honor that. As the most honorable prophet, Elihi of the Christ says, you are not a drop in the ocean, you are the ocean in a whole drop. I am love, I am God. I'm not limited to my debilitations. I have divine knowledge of self. I am not limited to my debilitations. I am equipped with divine knowledge of self to defeat my demons. After all, we are at war with self, and I am not exempt from my human experience. I have learned to take full responsibility for my life, and I choose to commit. Today, I choose to right my wrongs and pick up my I owe it to myself. The next time I get triggered to respond maturely, abiding by the MODs in my outlaw. It's not okay to respond out of your...
A word from ex-Carbonation member Keys, aka Flo, aka Philip.
If you focus on your own journey, you'll create the best version of yourself. Don't compare and focus on other people. It's not about them. It never was. It's about you.
Can I get somebody, and I mean anybody, to go on ahead and smash the heck out of that like button for me one time? Thank y'all.
Using my outlaw. It's not okay to respond out of your emotions. I went against my family carbonation and I choose to honor them instead. I apologize for my actions and I'm grateful to have them in my life. The most honorable prophet Eligio the Christ is my chief, my guide, the Messiah. The most honorable prophet Eligio the Christ is my chief, my guide, the Messiah.
Y'all, she did not want to do this apology. It's written all over her face. Look at her. Even when she's saying that he's her guide and her Messiah, she looks away from the camera. I'm sure that Tori, aka Joy, struggled every single day in that cult. Because I don't think, being like a follower like that was her thing. I don't know. She doesn't strike me like that. That's why I'm side eyeing her now. Talking about some peace to the gods.
The most honorable prophet Eligio the Christ is my chief, my guide, the Messiah, and I choose to honor him. I love myself.
All right, y'all. So I just had to take y'all down that little walk down memory lane. Now we could get back to the current live that Tori, aka Joy, did on November 9th, 2023. Let's get back to that, y'all. Oh, before we do, come on, y'all. What them likes looking like? Go on ahead, anybody, somebody, smash the heck out of that like button for me just one time. Thank you.
Don't catch me like at a real good time. Peace, love. You ready? Let's get it. There it is. There it is. Hi. Hello, y'all.
The kings in the building, the gods, the goddesses, the creators, the creatress. We is here. Thank y'all for showing love in the live, man.
Yes, yes, yes. Another.
Your faces, picture perfect. My boy Trey Shoot in the building, Lonnie the Great. Thank y'all so much. Peace and love. We're gonna get into it.
Well, welcome to the Dark Feminine Hour, where our sacred mission is to
evolve through love, healing, and wisdom. For I am Love Simone.
And I am Tori Evolving. Ashe, Asheo. Let's get into it. Listen. So we're going to be discussing the first chapter of Sacred Woman today. And Deja, before we get into it, Deja came up with the perfect title today. Because Miss Tori, I was all over the place before this. All over the place. Like my mind, my thoughts. And I'm really at a place where I am gathering what is for me and what is not for me. And trying to be at balance with it. Where I'm not being extreme. Right? Because a lot of y'all know my background. I came from carbonation, very, very extreme. What a lot of y'all didn't really believe that we lived.
Now, y'all know I gotta run that back. It is very rare that I hear Tori, aka Joy, speak on the fact that she came from carbonation. So I'm gonna just run it back one time, y'all.
Because a lot of y'all know my background. I came from carbonation, very, very extreme.
Okay, guys, we can carry on. But before we go, Bush Babies, come on over to the channel. Go on ahead and subscribe.
Extreme. What a lot of y'all didn't really believe that we lived the lifestyle that we lived, but yes, I was vegan, barefoot all the time, solar panels out, in tune with nature, constantly breathing in. Like I lived that lifestyle. So now that I'm back in the States, I am like I said, I'm trying to find what is for me and what is not for me and not be so extreme with it. And me and Deja were talking about this, and she came up with the perfect title with I am a sacred woman and not a perfect woman. Because me having that Virgo Mars, man, perfection is everything. I want to be so perfect. And although I am perfect, I'm not flawless. I have my flaws, I have my imperfections, and I accept myself for me. I love my journey, and I love myself. I love myself throughout my journey. I love myself. Period. But yeah,
I love
yeah.
not. I love that transparency, Tori. You know, like even with them, even for myself, like the perfectionist comes out at times, but I've grown, still is growing to understand that a sacred woman is not a perfect woman. A sacred man is not a you know, um, a godly man is not a perfect man. A godly woman is not a perfect, you know what I'm saying, woman. So we have to, like she said, balance with things and give ourselves a little bit more grace and give ourselves the love in the society that we in. Like a lot of this is not built for us to even be perfect. It's not even a perfect world right now. You know what I'm saying? So how could we even be right now? You know what I'm saying? So nature is not even.
Okay, guys, we're going to take a brief intermission so that I can show you guys Sybil, aka Mama Earth's business website. Her website is fragranceastrology.com, where she provides you with astrology based fragrances, and she can also make you your own personal signature scent. Guys, please be sure to drop me a comment, smash the heck out of that like button, and share.
You know what I'm saying? So how could we even be right now? You know what I'm saying? So nature is not even perfect.
Right.
You know.
So the question that immediately came to my mind when you said that was, what is sacred? What is
Okay.
sacred? What is the definition of sacred? And to me, sacred is having divine intent behind it. Meaning, divine, meaning close to God, God-like, right?
Right.
Carrying yourself with divinity, having a divine intent behind what you're doing, divine intent with your actions. We're not just running on autopilot. We're not just running based on the subconscious mind and what was passed down to us. Listen, my mind will go on a tangent. My mind will go on a tangent, Deja. Hold on. We're discussing chapter, but this is all within chapter one.
It is.
Like my mind was so sparked reading chapter one, so sparked. And if you want to start, you can start. I'm gonna open my notes, and I'm gonna get into my notes.
So
Y'all know.
y'all did not do me and Tori's movement. We are doing book discussions with the Sacred Woman. We will also be doing other books, but right now we're just going to focus on Sacred Woman. And we are in chapter one, where we both took notes and we did some highlighting and we did some reading. And we're going to share what we've obtained and what we've got from it, from our own personal experience with chapter one. And y'all both be able to get different perspectives and, and be able to tap in whenever you choose to, for we just a vessel. So let's get started. So I wrote a couple things down. So one thing that stuck out to me when I first started reading is it spoke about the originators. And when I think of originators, I think of the people, the original people. And it had it in, like, also known as, which is like AKA the Greek philosopher. They say Greek philosophy, but I put philosophers because I feel like it was like those that truly went and seek knowledge, known as the Egyptian way of life. So the originators is also known as the Greek philosophers, and the Greek philosophers is known as the Egyptian way of life. So that stuck out to me. I feel like the original people, which is us, the melanated people, we are the Greek philosophers, and we do it in a way of being in that Egyptian way of life, like doing things back in that time, that Egyptian way. So that stood out to me, like, instantly, right off the bat. If y'all have any questions, please comment. Don't look. Feel free to ask. Feel free to indulge. Feel free to,
Feel free to add.
Yeah, add as well too. And then also to add to that, I didn't even know this, and I love to learn. Africa, the way that it was spelled, from the way that it was spelled, and from the meaning of what it
Mm-hmm.
means, stuck out to me, and I was like, interesting because we so used to like English spelling being a certain way until we truly choose to knowledge ourselves. So Africa is really spelled Afrika. If y'all want to drop that in the chat, I'm actually going to drop that in the chat right now, so y'all.
So you were really big on the etymology of everything.
I was like, it stood out, like, because I feel like that is really the unlearning and relearning.
Mm-hmm.
For words have, power behind it, and it means flesh and soul of the hidden.
A quick word from Rambo regarding Wild Brotherhood.
Hey, what up, y'all? I know it's been a minute since I've been on here, but I wanted to share with you today the free masterclass that is happening this Monday, November 6th. Have an extraordinary life. And if you've been thinking about joining Wild Brotherhood or want to get a little bit of what it's like, this is going to be a great masterclass to partake in. I will also be sharing my own personal journey, details that I don't typically share on Instagram or on my lives, but just getting a little more personal. So
this event has already passed, but I wanted to share this with you guys to give you an example of what Rambo is doing with the Wild Brotherhood. If you guys are interested in learning more, please feel free to check him out at wildbrotherhood.com.
Power behind it, and it means flesh and soul of the hidden sun. And then with the
You said it means flesh in the hidden sun.
flesh and the soul of the hidden sun. So then it also spoke about Africa spelled the original way, in the sense of with the Ka or Ca. And it was talking about how that's not the actual spelling. It actually means separate, divide, conquer. And I'm like, wow, like, if you think about it, that's what the whole goal was for them with us, to separate and divide. So of course they changed the spelling into something that put it in that space of, we're gonna divide y'all and separate y'all just through words, and y'all never gonna pay attention to it. So that's why it's spelled the right way.
Right. I feel like that's like etymology sometimes goes over my head unless I can hear it. Unless it's something that really sticks out to me to where I'm like, no, I will not say that.
Right.
Until like it has to be certain things. Or sometimes it does go over my head where it becomes what it's supposed to do, what the intent was of it is to do. It's a spell, right?
Hey, what you got?
With that spell. And so for me, what really stuck out to me, I want to go back into what is sacred, because literally that's ringing in my mind right now. So say, like I said before, sacred to me is having a divine intent behind what are you doing. To make something sacred is to have divine intent. Just like when you have sex, you can just have sex and you can masturbate with each other's bodies, or you could have a divine intent, a divine purpose for why you're doing something, right? So that's really what's sticking out to me. What is sacred? Because I am a sacred woman. I move with intention. I move with purpose. There's a reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. You may not understand it. So you could see my actions and be like, oh, she not this, she not that. But I am a sacred woman. I don't like this is I feel like that's something that we all have to come to, because that was something I really struggled with on my journey since I awakened, was the perception of others, where it was just like, I don't have to explain myself to anyone. I know what I'm doing. I'm divinely connected to God. I hear that within me. I hear that voice within me. As long as I'm moving with divine intent, as long as I'm moving sacredly, I'm in alignment. And I feel like that's what we're all coming back to me. That's what I got within chapter 1, is reconnecting to nature.
Okay.
And she says netter in the book, NTR, netter. And netter is like the whole creator, right? And like, okay, like, and that's my thing. Like, you may read it one way, but it may resonate with me another way, right? And anytime I saw Netter, which is, she said, the creator, the God, everything, oneness, I saw nature.
Yes. Nature. Yeah, words.
And what really stood out to me was she was saying in chapter 1 was to realign with our ancient way of life, in alignment with Netter, in alignment with nature.
Guys, look who it is. It's squad member Kiss the Evil.
But yeah, y'all, so Bishop been locked up now for 2 years. She asked me, was I going to the trial? You know what? I just might go. You know, full circle moment. This is something that we all been watching for years, okay?
Okay, so Kiss the Evil might be at the trial, guys. Y'all, please be sure to drop me a comment, smash the heck out of that like button, and share.
Alignment with Netter, in alignment with nature. Get back in alignment with nature. And our nature is to what? What is our nature? A lot of us don't know what our nature is anymore. Like, I hate to say it, but we live. Well, go ahead, interject.
I want to add to what you're saying, because you spoke about sacred. You talk about your way of seeing and being sacred as a woman, and I feel like it's the divine intent, of course, but it's also the energy. And I feel like just like everybody have a different aura about them, everybody have a different sacred energy as well, in the sense of how they go about their sacredness. For it does start in nature, because everything starts and begins and ends in nature. And it just stood out to me because I feel like those that are looking, those that are seeking and searching and trying to find their sacredness within, I feel like also have to, it goes back to the I'm a sacred woman, not a perfect woman, meaning that your sacredness is what you truly define it as. Nobody else. Like,
what is your divine intent?
Right. What is something that you, what is it that you do that is so intentional all the time? What is
your purpose? What is the purpose for that action? Whether you're growing your hair out, you're locking your hair. Are you just, it's not just hair, understanding the technologies behind that. My hair is my connection to source. My hair has melanin in it. I will never dye my hair. I will never cut my hair, because my divine intent for having my hair, my divine purpose for having my hair is so I can connect with nature, so I can connect with Netter and absorb what's around me, so I can hear clearly. So when I get those messages, it's not confusion, but because we're not in alignment with nature, we're not in alignment with Netter. When we get those messages, it's over here, it's over there, it's over here, it's over there, because you're not in alignment, because you cannot hear clearly, because you do not understand the technologies of your body. So when you get those messages, it becomes suppressed. It becomes confusion. The devil moves in confusion. When you look into nature, everything is in perfect alignment.
Y'all, brief intermission. Let's go on ahead and get those likes up. Please be sure to smash the heck up out of that like button for me. To all of my bush babies, come on out of the bushes, y'all. I see y'all in the analytics. Go on ahead and subscribe to the channel. Be sure that your notifications are set to all so that you're notified when I add new content or when I go live.
Confusion. When you look into nature, everything is in perfect alignment. Everything is in a perfect sequence. When you look at a plant, the plant doesn't have six petals on this one, 7 petals on that one, 8 petals on that one. No, they all grow the exact same. There is a divine, there's a divine number, right? So what I'm trying to say is, the message is clear. It becomes confused when you're not in alignment with nature, when you're not in alignment with it, when you are not living in alignment with nature. That's when the message becomes confused, and you cannot relay the message, you cannot live the message, you cannot feelize the message, because you are not in alignment with nature. You feel me? Is that coming off clear to y'all? Because, like, let those who have ears hear. And that was in literally, oh my God. That was the other thing that sparked my thoughts too, girl. Like,
I want to piggyback off what you were saying about nature. Um, I feel like nature goes through its
the seasons.
seasons, right? So just like sometimes nature have to disconnect from itself to be reborn or to grow in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
And I look the same way with those that do the same, because I feel like about your hair, like those that are growing out their hair, yeah, they're probably in that season, but those that cut it off.
Yes.
So it's like it really just depends on
The
your
cycle,
nature,
season of the person.
the nature. Now I got to download.
Hit it. Spit that. Spit it.
When you say your nature, I'm thinking of, okay, we got outside nature. We know what outside nature look like. If I'm talking to Tori, I know what her nature is. My nature and your nature is completely different. It's your nature. It's like your essence. It's almost like whenever you have your seed, each one, even though you and the same person is y'all keep reproducing, but y'all are what? Y'all are reproducing something that is different every time. Every single time. It has its own nature. It has its own essence. It has its own, going through its own different seasons. Look how your hair. Oh yes. Talk about your hair. Did you see that too?
Yeah, I did. I'm listening to what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't want you to lose your thought.
That just sparked me because, like, you know, I used to beat myself up with, it's so crazy to talk about hair because I was just thinking about like doing something different with my hair. And I would beat myself up whenever I would go through those phases of my life when I would want to cut it off and start off over. And I'm thinking like, damn, I'm just connecting myself from source. I'm not going to be able to get whoop downloads. But it's like, if anything, that connected me deeper because that's taking me back to what the roots for something have to be rooted. You know what I'm saying? Have to start from here to grow out in a healthier way. And however many.
Yes. I agree with that 100%. I agree with that 100%. It goes back to what you were, the first thing that you were saying. It depends on the season of the person. When you say get in alignment with your nature, what season are you in? Understanding what season you are in and getting in alignment with that so you can move with purpose and intention in your season. Whether that's the season that, okay, I need to cut off my hair so I can grow, so I can bloom, right, in a healthier way. So I can bloom in a healthier way. But if you don't know why you moving the way you moving, because you're not in tune with nature, you're not in tune with your season, you don't know what the fuck is going on. So like literally, yeah, man. Listen.
The conversation right now, how y'all enjoying it? Add some hearts to the chat. Man, send us some love. That's what we need more in the world. We just need love, honestly. So send us some hearts in the chat. Send facts, sis. Appreciate you, brother. So I got another note that I wrote down. It says, I just literally put it like this. I wrote literally verbatim, creator/creatress. And I put a line and I just put a question mark because I was reading The Sacred Woman. She hit me. She had me like, damn. Okay. God and goddesses is not that's the Western. That's the Western way of how they perceive divinity. And we really shouldn't be even, you know what I'm saying, calling each other that. That's what the Sacred Woman thinks. That's what she feels. That's what she's speaking on.
Right.
And it made me just kind of like look at creator and creatress in a whole different way.
Yeah.
Because
come on, I'm here. Keep going.
What are we all doing? What are we always doing? Whether we think we're not or whether we think we're doing it or not, we always creating. We always creating. Whether you just
Guys, I will be attending the trial of Eligio Bishop, Nature Boy, 3 God. It is scheduled for February 20th, 2024. I am reaching out to my community to ask you to donate and help me get there. I will be booths on the ground giving you the updates every day of the trial. I plan on staying in Georgia for the entire trial 7 days. My Cash App is DannisPlate2020 and it is also listed in this video. Any amount will help to reach my goal of $1,000. We gonna be in the building with it. While I have you here, do me a favor real quick. Hit that like button one time for me. Them likes need to go up. Thank you guys. Bush babies. I can't forget about you guys. Come on over to the channel. I promise you'll love it here. Replay gang, you already know what it is. Big up yourself.
We always creating. Whether you just sitting on the couch watching your favorite movie, you always creating, because guess what? This is always going. This is always going, no matter what. Something is always being created, no matter what. So whenever they spoke about us being creators and creatrice, I'm like that resonates with me. It resonates with me as a woman, as a sacred woman, because for that it is truly what we are. We are here. We came here to create, in whatever way.
So,
But yeah, I speak on that. It's just there's so many different things we call each other: kings, queens, gods, goddesses.
Right. You sparked my thoughts because
I just wanted to plant that seed in those that have never heard of creator, creatrice, which I'm sure some have, but I love how
you said something where it was like, even if you're just sitting on the couch, you're creating, right? You're creating no matter if you're just sitting on the couch. And it brings me back to the thought. One of the thoughts that was sparked in me when I was reading was the parable of the sower. She didn't mention the parable of the sower, but that was something that, like I said, I read it and I'll interpret it the way that I interpret it, right? She was speaking about how her husband's upbringing, how his father was a Christian priest, right?
Yes.
But he had a son, which was her husband, and he raised him in the Kemetic way of life, right? In secrecy. He planted those seeds and he raised him in that way. And so that's when I thought about the parable of the sower, right? So the parable of the sower, and it goes back to literally what you were just saying. I'm just like, it's all connected.
Sometimes that's another message for y'all. Sometimes you don't have to do anything. Like doing nothing is doing everything.
But it's like it's doing everything. But look at the fruits. You're always creating something, even if you're sitting on the couch. Now look at the fruit of what that's created.
Negative or positive, either.
Right. Look at the fruit that produced, right? So that's what, and it ties literally. So when I heard about when I heard about his father being the priest, I thought about the parable of the sower. And then when you just said that, you're always creating something. You're always creating something. I'm like, the parable of the sower.
Yes.
Like, so the parable of the sower, that goes back into the Bible. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't. It's a metaphor, okay? It's a parable. It's a parable. Listen.
We're gonna keep it real. We're gonna keep it real with y'all.
Right.
That means to whatever we feel called to say, whether that's through the Bible, whether that's through this book, whether that's through anything, our experiences, we want to share, because guess what? I always tell people, you get a little bit of knowledge from everything. I don't care. Some people only want to look at one way of learning or being wise, gaining their knowledge. Even the Bible teaches you things that, you know what I'm saying, that this book is teaching you, but in a whole different way. But it's all about perception and your perspective on it. So I just want to clear that up. But I also want to speak on the goddess that says she have to get her book. Please, y'all, get the book Sacred Woman if you want to join.
Book, tap in.
We're trying to actually make this as a collective thing where we bring more sacred women and men together. It's not just, we don't, us two. If y'all didn't, well, of course y'all didn't know, y'all just joining.
Right.
Exactly. Ashe, goddess, Ashe. There's
What's
nothing
up,
wrong.
Kendra?
Um, I wrote some
So the
more.
parable of the sower. It says,
Okay, go ahead.
let me, I'm gonna skip over. So right. So this is
Oh,
Jesus speaking
she
to
have,
the crowd of people.
she have her book. Well, you have your
Let's get
book.
it. We on chapter 1, so we at the beginning. Tap
Tap
in.
in with us right now.
Please join us. Right. So this is just something that sparked my thoughts. This parable sparked my thoughts with what I mentioned earlier and what Deja just said. And this is Jesus when you read the Bible, right? This is Jesus speaking to a crowd, you know, and the crowds gathered around him. Then he told them many things in parables. Parables is like a metaphor, right? And he says, a farmer went out to sow his seed. As he is scattering the seeds, some fell along the path, and the birds came and ate it up. A farmer went out to sow his seed. As he's scattering the seeds, some fell along the path, and the birds came and ate it up. Some fell along the path. Hold on, let me. Some fell along the path, and the birds came and ate it up. Some fell on the rocky places where it did not have much soil. It sprang up quickly because the soil was shallow. But when the sun came up, the plants were scorched and they withered because they had no root. Other seed fell among the thorns, which grew and choked up the plants. Still, other seed fell on good soil, where it produced a crop 100, 60, or 30 times what was sown. Whoever has ears, let them hear. So you're always creating no matter where you go. But this also shows me like the divine intent, your purpose for when you're planting these seeds, right? It
Exactly.
goes back to your purpose,
It
your
does.
intention. Because you could plant these seeds, you could just be throwing these seeds, planting these seeds, and like he said, the birds will come and eat it up, right? Or somebody could get the message, but they didn't connect it to themselves. They didn't know their nature. They didn't know what season they were in. So when that plant grew, they're like, oh, I felt it. But they
Janai. Honor. Velvet. Star. Azine. Pee-wee. Avir left carbonation but went right back to be with Jax. 7. Mama 9.
didn't connect it to where they were in their season. So it had no root. So when their plant started to grow, it burnt out quick. Right?
Yes.
The plant shriveled up, right?
Right.
Or they planted that seed. They heard that seed and they worried about what this person gonna think, what that person gonna think. So they started to grow, and then their voice got choked up. That message got choked up. That seed was not able to flourish. That plant was never able to grow. That fruit was never able to produce. The plant could not produce fruit because they're worried
So
about the perception of it. You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
I'm getting downloads
Bro.
because when you said it wasn't able to grow, it made me think about the seed. Like it made me think about the seed when there's a seed planted in the woman, the womb, the sacred. Because this is all womb healing. If y'all don't know, if her womb isn't protected, just like your purpose or whatever it is, the seed that you plant in your life, if it's not protected, if it doesn't have that protection on it, you didn't even create it in the light that it needs to grow. Like she said, it's gonna choke up. It's not gonna be able to grow in the way of where it needs to, or it's gonna come out as a lesson, something to teach you something versus just being something
Right.
able to just literally enjoy. You know what I'm saying? It's those seeds you plant that you able to, like, when it grows, you able to just pick it and almost
Enjoy the fruit. You're able to enjoy the fruit
with no problem. There's some that you gotta like pick around, and you may have to experiment on.
Mm-hmm.
But you
Yeah.
didn't like the way you planted it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go back and you gotta reconstruct. So really, sister, like that really does just, it opens my mind. This whole live is just opening my mind. I'm loving it.
Me too. Me
I
too. Like, I had so many thoughts. But then even so she went into the elements, and how the
yes, the elements.
elements aligned with the healing, right?
Yep.
Air, breath, yoga, earth, healing foods, herbology, aromatherapy, water, purification, baptisms, fastings, enemas, um,
Fire.
fire, sunbathing,
Burn.
fire
Yep.
foods,
Yep.
candles, burning herbs, right?
Yep.
Those are all forms that you can take in cleansing,
And connecting.
in healing your womb.
Yep. And connecting with the elements.
Right.
I was tell people like all the time how important the elements is. For those are what you're supposed to truly master,
Mm-hmm.
which is why astrology is so important. They even talk
Mm-hmm.
about it in The Sacred Woman. How astrology is so important, but how it reflects on the elements, because we are composed of water, fire, air, and earth. For that is us. For there is not a lack of that in us, but there can be a disconnection whenever you don't allow yourself to connect to those elements.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if for instance, if I was to look at one of y'all charts and all I see is y'all have water there, that means to me that you need more earth. You
Right.
need to ground. You need fire.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You need air. You need to communicate. You need these things as well. We can look at it in the surface point of view, or we can look at it in the way the Sacred Woman looks at it, where it's more internal. She
Right.
speaks internal way of healing.
Right.
How to use
That's the way we live anyway. Even if you're maybe lacking an element too, like you mentioned it actually one of your stories where it was just like you have Libra Mars. So yoga is a way for you to nourish your body, right? If you have a lot of earth energy like me, I have a lot of earth energy. You can use the ways that I rejuvenate and nourish my soul is through healing foods.
right.
It's through aromatherapy. I have diffusers in every room in my home, right? I have aromatherapy going, right? So it's, yes, understanding your astrology, mastering your own element, and then adding in those elements that you may lack or that you may need. But even before you start adding in a bunch of different things, like mastering your own energy
Your
first,
nature.
getting back into balance with your nature, getting in tune with your nature first, and then start incorporating those things to balance the other. Like for me, I have water and earth. My houses are all water. I'm primarily earth.
Right.
So
Right.
I lack air in my chart. I maybe have like one or two air signs, one or two fire signs. I'm sorry, one or two fire placements, one or two air placements. So adding adding more yoga, adding more breath work would be something that would help, that I would incorporate into my chart while on my healing journey. Adding more fire foods, adding more explosive movements is something that I would add in my journey. Because when you think about earth energy is solid. Earth energy can become solid as a rock, stagnant, right? So then you get that fire energy, you get that movement, and you get the balance of elements, right? Like you said, mastering all of the elements.
You literally get that light under your ass. Like, come on,
Right,
it's time. And
right. It's time to move.
um, like my chart, I have literally every element. I have every single one. And I tell people all the time, like, it will be like the ideal chart.
Mm-hmm.
It will almost be like the chart to have, because I have air, fire, water, and earth, literally in my big chart, and also just throughout my chart. So it's like, choose which one I want to like say, hey, I want to choose you today, air. You know, I want to choose you today, fire. Oh, earth, I want to choose you today. But that comes with so much of me feeling like well, people tell me like you move with the wind, like
Mm-hmm.
you are, because that is me being able to tap into these different elements that make up me, that make up my chart. So it's
I don't think
almost
there's right. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Having have knowing is mastering the elements, knowing how and when to use the elements.
right,
Knowing
exactly,
when, okay, this is a very emotional time. Would you pull out more water energy during a very emotional time? Yes, you want a little more empathy in the moment, right? You want to be able to empathize and feelize, but then you're going to need some earth energy to balance that, right? Because if
exactly.
it's too much water, everybody's going to drown until you bring that grounding, logical standpoint back in, and then it grounds that energy, right? So yeah, mastering the elements, knowing what your elements are, mastering those, and then adding in the other elements that you may lack in order to balance
I
spiritual
agree.
balance. That's right, London.
Somebody asked our fire foods.
Fire foods
Cayenne pepper,
like radish.
cayenne pepper, radish. What else? Um,
I would say green onion. Green onion is like a fire. Yes and no.
let me go to the text where she speaks about it, brother.
Yeah,
Let me actually go to it. So
there are even she mentioned some in the book, but there are herbs too that are
okay, right
knowing
here.
the herbs. Some are cooling and some are
Okay, fire food
warm. Go ahead.
are radishes, leeks, onions, and cayenne pepper. So those are fire foods. Add those to um your your diet to get more in touch with the fire element. For I do use cayenne. Sometimes I literally just take a little teaspoon of cayenne and put it in my water and drink it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could do that. You could add it to your teas to enhance your teas. For cayenne is just an enhancer of whatever it is that you know, that you're drinking at the time or that you're eating at the time.
Right.
So, and it's really good for your heart. So, I had wrote. I guess we're gonna talk about the. I want y'all to know that Mayat, MAAT, means balance, harmony,
Mm.
truth, and law. Maya. For I think that is like the word that sacred woman used so much in her text in this
My
chapter. Um,
mm-hmm.
Maya, like, and it makes so much sense because that's what life is. Like everything is balanced. So, understanding the
Something
actual
I meant.
of of balance is Maya. So y'all can write that down if y'all want. Add that to your mental.
Something that made me think about you during this was when she was actually talking about Mayat, the 42 laws of Mayat, and she grabs a feather, right? Because you're very connected to feathers, right? And the reason that she uses a feather, she has a feather as a reminder for the 42 laws of Mayat. The 42 laws of Mayat are similar to the 10 commandments, right? But the 42 laws of Mayat are more in depth. They inspire accountability. I actually did want to read them. I actually did want to read them, but she has that feather because in Kemetic, in Egyptology, right? There is a God that when every day is Judgment Day, like she says, but at the end of your life cycle, there is a God that will come and they will weigh your heart against the feather. They'll weigh your heart against the feather to see if it is balanced.
Yep.
Right? Is your heart as light as a feather? And that's what the 42 laws of Mayat help to do, keep you as light as a feather,
Right.
right?
You
So
got
I did want to read the 42 laws of Mayat. I actually did it this morning too. So I'm gonna read it because she mentions in the text too. If you do want to do a ritual or whatever, you don't have to. A ritual just meaning you do it frequently, right? So in the rising you say, I will not, when you read the 42 laws of my eye. And at the end of the night, you say, I have not. And I did it this morning, so I'm going to read it as I have not tonight because it's the evening. So it says, I have not done wrong. I have not stolen. I have not acted with violence. I have not killed. I have not acted unjustly. I have not caused pain. I have not wasted food. I have not lied. I have not desecrated holy places. I have not spoken evil. I have not abused my sexuality. I have not caused the shedding of tears. I have not sowed seeds of regret. I have not been an aggressor. I have not acted guiltfully. I have not laid waste to the plowed land. I have not bear false witness. I have not set my mouth in motion against any person. So that gossiping and shit, excuse me. I have not been wrathful and angry except for a just cause. I'm gonna say that one again because I feel like a lot of I've experienced this and I have seen it a lot. I have not been wrathful and angry except for a just cause. I have not copopulate with a man's wife. I have not copopulate with a woman's husband. I have not polluted myself. I have not caused terror. I have not polluted the earth. I have not spoken in anger. I have not turned from my words of right and truth. I have not uttered curses. I have not initiated a quarrel. I have not been excitable or contentious.
Taking you down memory lane with this one. Y'all, please be sure to give a donation to the channel. We're trying to get to that trial. Now this is some real sugar honey iced tea. I don't know what they was thinking when they made and posted this video on social media. Y'all, please be sure to drop me a comment, smash the heck out of that like button, and share. Bush babies, come on out of the bushes. Go on ahead and subscribe to the channel. I promise you, you will love it here. My Cash App is $Danny's Plate 2020. It is also listed here in this video.
Initiated a quarrel. I have not been excitable or contentious. I have not prejudged. I have not been an eavesdropper. I have not spoken over much. I have not committed treason against my ancestors. I have not waste water. I have not done evil. I have not been arrogant. I have not blasphemed Netter and the One Most High. I have not committed fraud. I have not mistreated children. I have not mistreated animals. I have not defrauded temple offerings, and I have not plundered the dead.
A lot.
That one was for me, my bad, y'all. That was for me. I had to recite my thing. I'll probably do it again off camera to make sure I'm really like.
I shaded that.
But yeah,
If
but yeah.
that's your, if you feel called to be able to speak on the 42 laws of my, then like she said, ritual. I feel like, like I said, I'm a sacred woman, not a perfect woman, so I'm not gonna say that I have not done these things when I know that, you know, these things are something that I've done. But which is why we are moving forward towards being more of a sacred woman, not being a perfect woman, because no one will ever be. Or we will. I feel like when they even wrote these laws of Ma'at, they want you to know what they are. They want you to almost digest them, but they also want you to like. I feel like they want you
Accountable. I think that's what it is. It's to hold yourself accountable.
yeah.
No, not to be perfect, and no, but like these are simple things. I have not abused my sexuality. I have not polluted myself.
But it's
So
still
meaning,
like talking out of like literally like if you mad and you just like that happens.
exactly.
So it's like
That's keeping you in tune with nature. That's keeping you in tune with God.
you have to have a little bit more like self awareness. Like, oh damn, I'm doing this. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
Literally all day, like I would catch myself like, oh, am I getting easily angered? I'm like, hold on. Like,
Uh,
but no, like not, and it wasn't in a negative way, or it wasn't even like in a nagging way. Like it felt like I was keeping myself balanced, because when you're experiencing these emotions like anger and like unjust anger,
yeah.
like sometimes a moment just takes a little more patience. Anger depends on the type of anger. Unjust anger,
I feel every
hasty anger is, it could be a low frequency emotion where you could easily choose patience, which would actually raise your vibration, right?
I feel
It would. Go ahead.
I feel like, okay, so this is where the part of me comes in, to where, like, when I was on my journey back in like 2021, and I was so hard on myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like I was
All right, y'all. A quick but very direct message from Keys, aka Flo, aka Philip, ex Carbonation member.
Hey, it's time to be happy again, and don't let nothing stop you from getting there.
All right, y'all. Go on ahead and drop me a comment, smash the heck out of that like button, and share. Bush babies, come on out of the bushes. Subscribe to the channel already. Replay gang, go on ahead and big up yourself. Y'all know what it is. I rocks with the replay gang.
on my journey back in like 2021, and I was so hard on myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I felt like I was one way, I couldn't get, I couldn't experience like lower vibrational emotions. But then I had a moment with myself, and that's
Mm-hmm.
when I was like, I don't want to be perfect. And I feel like perfection came with like religious systems.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it put me in this state of mind,
Right.
and I started to like be okay with understanding that every emotion should be honored with love, and every emotion deserves the same amount, because that would just make me a robot. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly.
I don't
Exactly. That's how I
like
was feeling when I was, and I feel like this is why I couldn't get with the book the first time, was because I'm like, it was, for me, it was like too, like, right. But then now I'm connecting with it I'm in a different season, right? I'm in a different season. I'm aware of what season I'm in. And my season is requiring more accountability, right? When you're mastering yourself, when you're mastering your emotions, because you have to be when you're mastering the elements, which is a part of mastering your emotions, you have to be able to step out for a moment. You have to like step outside of yourself for a moment, right? And I feel like that's what the 42 laws of Mayat really helped me do, was take accountability. Like, okay, hold on, let me pause for a moment, and not just move subconsciously. Yes, honoring my emotion. Like, okay, yeah, that may, yes, not ignoring what may have flustered me, getting to the root of that, of course, right? Not ignoring that emotion, not shaming the emotion, but really pausing and reflecting, and seeing
if it
seeing if
needs
that's the first seeing if that's the first thing that I need to choose. You know what I mean? Yes, some things require anger, some things require that, right? But not
the
all
time.
things require that. So yes, your first reaction may to come with that fire, right? But sometimes you might need to come with that water. Even though your first reaction was to come with the fire, until you paused and you analyze the situation, because you're the master of your element. You're the master of your emotions. You're the master of your own energy. And you realize, all right, nah, this requires more water. This
Not
requires
for
more
sure.
empathy, right? But
I,
nah, yeah.
I feel
Yeah,
like
I
I got
get what you were saying though, in the sense of like not becoming so
attacked.
religious with it, not becoming so stuck in a religion, right? Because that's I feel like that's where I was just like, I don't want to get back into a religion where I feel like I cannot express myself because I'm so stuck in this when it's not.
Nah, be free with it,
Yeah.
like, because it's like it bring me to it. It brought me to a moment where I just had with somebody, and um they came at me with anger, but it's like it's knowing, it's like I said, like you said, it's knowing when to come with the situation with anger. Not
Mm-hmm.
like, it's almost like, um because like they say, if your words, if when you speak with your words, you already know they either gonna heal or hurt. Like words either do one of those things. And I feel like even whenever you speak, I feel like certain things of other person, whether they don't think they do or not, needs that. Like some people need like motherfucker. I need like
They need the fire. What you saying?
some people
You come with some people need the fire. No, for sure.
need
No, I
some
literally had to do that at work, y'all. I'm gonna drop my experience real quick, right? Because
other.
at first, like I was like, hold on, like I had to check myself for like really analyze myself. So y'all, I'm at work, right? And my boss comes to me and she's like, "Hey, I need you to go do a lunch break. She hasn't been on her lunch yet. Can you go cover this lunch break in this room?" I'm like, "Yeah, for sure. I can cover this lunch break, right?" But I'm still at work. I'm still doing my job. I can't just leave and drop everything, come quick, Craig's in trouble. No, I can't do that. I still have procedures I have to do before I come to you and relieve you from your lunch break, right? So after I'm done doing what I'm doing, I can't just drop everything, come quick. I'm like 10 minutes late to relieve this girl from this woman for her lunch break. And she was pissed. She overwhelmed. We're at work. I get it. You overwhelmed. We're working. The environment can get kind of hectic. I'm not going to get into the details of what I do because we online. But, right? So I come in. I come in with good energy, right? I'm like, hello, hi. I'm here to relieve. Oh, I forgot your name. I'm here to relieve somebody for their lunch break. And they're like, the two women that are in the room, they're just looking at me like, just stank mad, like, and I get it. You overwhelmed. It's overwhelming. It's midday. You hungry. You want to go.
Y'all, check out this short featuring Keys, aka Flo, aka Philip, ex-Carbonation member.
Things you can't change: someone else's behavior, the past, and someone else's thoughts. 3 things you can change: your future, your perspective, and your thoughts.
Y'all, please be sure to drop me a comment, smash the heck out of that like button, and share. I want to say hey to the replay gang. What up, y'all? Y'all know what it is.
And I get it. You overwhelmed. It's overwhelming. It's midday. You hungry. You want to go eat. You want to go do your thing. And I'm still just trying to smile. I'm like, I'm like, so what's your name? And they just like, she like, you don't need to know my name. Why does that matter? Like all the attitude. I'm like, I just wanted to know who I'm relieving for their lunch. And then the other lady is just like, that doesn't matter. And then the woman who I'm relieving is just like, you don't need to know my name. I'm going on my lunch. You can go do this, that, and the third with her, with the other woman in the room. And I'm just like, I let it go, right? Because I can feel the energy. You're overwhelmed. You're hungry. It is what it is, right? Okay, I don't need to know your name. Hold on, I let it go. I'm like, okay, I don't need to know your name. I'm just here to relieve you for your lunch. Go ahead, baby. Go do your thing, right? I just do my job. I didn't let that shit pull me out of my element. You know what I mean? I'm a master of my energy. I feel the emotions in the room. I can't come with that. I could have easily let that affect me and come with fire, like, oh, you're not gonna talk to me like that. Been in my emotions, all this. No, the energy in the room was already elevated. It was already like that, right? So I didn't need to come. I didn't need to come with that right now, right? Need to come with water. I need to come with some Libra energy. Where it's like, okay, I'm not gonna address this right now, right? So when she did come back, though, when she did come back from her lunch break, because I hadn't had my lunch either. Listen, I hadn't eaten. I hadn't been on my lunch break, right?
Right.
I've been here just as long as you. So when she came back, she still had an attitude. She still was being rude.
She ain't getting nourished.
She still was being rude. So I was like, listen, I understand that you're overwhelmed, right? But I don't deserve that energy.
Exactly.
So the next time you come at me with that energy, I can just take my lunch first and then come back for yours. And she didn't like that.
Listen.
It escalated. Y'all, it went to a whole nother. I'm not about to get into every little detail, but like, listen.
Ran and told I should have murked the Kansas. Got popped for a murder attempt. Knocked me on D block when I was burning the hemp. Had a brick in the stash, hope they don't take it to a further extent. Locked up and they won't let me out. When I hit my cell block, know to threat me out.
I'm steady trying to find the motive. Why do what I do?
What was I going? Mastering your energy. That's where I'm at with it. Mastering your energy, and I had control of my own energy in the moment. I was able to master the elements. I was able to keep the energy from escalating and still lit that fire into her ass. Where it's just like, okay, you're not gonna come for me like that. We're gonna keep the respect, right?
Yeah.
And like literally, I mean, she was all smiles and bubbles after that. You know what I mean? After when she saw me any other time. So,
And you
but yeah.
taught her a lesson, like, and I feel like that's all we're doing in life. Like, you taught her such a valuable lesson. Like, you don't gotta be that way. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta act like that. Like, some people like needs they don't even know.
I am so confused, y'all. What does her giving somebody their lunch break or her coworker having an attitude have to do with the dark feminine hour? This is the most disorganized book club I've ever seen.
How to act like that. Like, some people like needs they don't even know when the universe is giving they ass a lesson in the moment. And
Right.
always getting a lesson. We just don't think that we are. But we
Right.
always a lesson of what ourselves, because we can look in that motherfucking mirror every day whenever we get ready for this and this day and this. We going to work and we going here. We about to go out to the park. We look in the mirror, see how we look, but we don't look internally and see that our energy can affect someone else.
Right.
So it takes the universe using somebody else that you don't even personally know
Mm-hmm.
on a personal level to humble your ass and give you a lesson about yourself. And I promise you, she went home and I knew she deeply reflected on that. I know she did.
Because she ended up because she was so out of control. She was so out of control with herself. Like, she ended up showing her ass even more. Like, it just,
you don't gotta. That's you know. I feel like in those job spaces, you get that a lot. Like, you get that the most. Like, you get that the most. I feel like anybody that has a job, like a job on a like 9 to 5 type of thing, whatever you work, get that energy the most, because people come in there with their problems. They don't come in there with anything
because
else. But
people don't have time to reflect. They don't take the time for themselves. They on the rat wheel, doing the rat wheel. So they don't have that time to reflect. They don't have that time to really, like you said, look internally at themselves. But you do have the time. You have to make time.
Exactly, because if you can't make time for self, then how you gonna be able to operate and work for somebody else?
But Angel, let's close this out.
Okay, I wanted to touch on one last thing. I feel like very important, because the book speaks about. I was enjoying our little.
Me too. I'm like, hold on, we going on.
When I leave, I put my all on it, and look what you did to me. I couldn't count on you. She was fucking with everyone but me, so I walked out on you, and it was the best thing I did for me. This time, I did.
A whole tangent.
I'm loving it. People, it's like I can tell like they're really engaged. I know when people engage when nobody's saying nothing, just listening. I love it though. So this is what spoke out to me in the book. I'm gonna just read off my notes, y'all. I want to get through these notes. It ain't much, but okay. All right. So it talks about how Western religions only recognize male priests and worship only male gods. And I feel like that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what is happening right now, which is why guess who's coming back? Us. You know what I'm saying? In the sense of the ancient Africa, which is respect to both the creator and the creatress. They don't believe in just worshiping the male priest and the male god. They believe in balance, mayat. You know what I'm saying? They believe in knowing that the woman and the creatress had just amount of authority and power as the man. If anything, probably even more. But you know what I'm saying? It's really no like, it wasn't no
there's no
power struggles. Right. It was balance. Also, it talks about Egypt is Egypt is part of the entire African continent, and that made me think about a very deep thought. I said, okay, so if we the Egyptian people, why wouldn't Egypt be mainly of Africa? Almost as if, because they say Egypt is like the main part of the African continent. And I feel like, well, if we the Egyptian people, why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be the main part of Africa?
Do you mean like the heart of Africa? Like, what do you mean by the main part?
It says Egypt is the main part of the entire African continent, meaning it makes up a big part, like
a large portion of Africa.
A large portion of the African continent.
Okay.
Which makes, everything comes from, that Egyptian way of life.
Right. Right. That was the start.
Okay. I love how they said that we are the Lotus people. Like, I love when she said we are the Lotus people, because it's like the sacred lotus, which is Nefer, is the highest. It means the highest ascension in the unlimited potential.
As soon as I get up, man, I gotta talk to myself in a very good way. I can't just get up and start bitching about stupid shit. Ain't no bitching about stupid shit, because that's how your day going to go. As soon as you get up, you got to be like, crack a joke, laugh to yourself, say it's going to be a great one. It's going to be a fucking good day. Like, don't just be getting up, bitching and complaining because you don't want to be here. Yo, man. As soon as you get up, say some very good things to yourself. Get the affirmations, what you need. Talk to yourself in a great way. Talk to yourself in a great way.
And we are the Lotus people, meaning that we have the highest potential to create our own realities, but sometimes we just don't. We don't even realize that we have the highest potential, and we have the highest ascension in the unlimited potential. My bad, y'all. I'm a little.
You good?
But it really stood out to me because I feel like us being the Lotus people is very sacred. So, because when I think of a lotus, I also think of a flower, like something that is sacred. A flower to me is very sacred. I love the rose. It's something to me with the rose and how sacred it is. I feel like I find it interesting how whenever we was kids, we would get the little, little boys, or we'll give somebody which ones, the sunflowers, where we pick off love you not, love you not, or we'll give you the ugly ones where you gotta blow it.
The dandelions.
Yes. Or we'll get sunflowers, we get flowers like that. But I always felt like the rose was a very sacred flower, because I feel like when you're gifted roses, it's almost like a higher,
because roses have a high frequency. It's one of the highest frequency flowers.
Maybe that's almost like they have authority to them, like a higher.
So why essence. Did that we are the Lotus people stand out to you? Just because of the flower?
No, we are the Lotus people stood out to me because it means that it's the highest ascension, and it means unlimited potential, the sacred lotus. And we are the Lotus people. We are the highest ascension. We are the higher beings, and we have unlimited potential, but we just don't choose to tap into it.
I feel like yes. Yeah. I love when I want to end it with that.
That's it. Y'all.
Say it one more time.
So we are the Lotus people, for we are the highest ascension, and we have the most unlimited potential. And we just got to tap into that, y'all. We got to tap into our higher ascension, our higher self, so we can reach our unlimited potential.
Right.
And once we reach that, we unstoppable. We supposed to be unstoppable. Things supposed to manifest like this. When our manifestation is experiencing blockages, it's because we stop being that sacred lotus. we stop reaching our higher selves.
It reminded
I can't wait.
Yeah, that's reminding me of the rites of passages. When it came to water, air, fire, earth, right? Um, we have unlimited potential, but when you're not in alignment with netter, when you're not in alignment with nature, that can stagnate the process. So when you may feel like you have those self-limiting beliefs, or you're whatever, you may not have those self-limiting beliefs or whatever, but you feel like your blessings are becoming stagnated, the message has become confused, it's good to tap back into those rites of passages using whatever elements you see fit, right? Whatever your season, whatever your nature, right? Whatever's in alignment with you, using that rite of passage to purify, to come back into alignment, whether you're using fasting as a way of repenting, because that can cause stagnation, whether you're using fire as a way to burn the stagnation, to light that fire under your ass, whatever rite of passage you're using as a way to unlock your unlimited potential, right? That's that was my last thought.
Yeah, I feel like that really concludes it. It really does. I also want y'all to know, it says the Bible, it speaks about how the Bible curses against Egypt to keep us away from discovering our heritage. And honestly, let y'all just sit on that one. I'm gonna let y'all just
the Bible curse.
If I could melt your heart, we'd never be apart. If I could melt your heart,